This video was produced by the Top Cut. Be sure to check out thetopcut.net, your home for Pokemon TCG tournament coverage, professional game analysis, and interviews with the best players in the world. Thanks for watching. Welcome everybody to Game 3 of the finals of the Ohio State Championship. The winner of this game will be declared the state champion of Ohio and take home a nice $300 travel award to the national championships, 10 championship points, in addition to a nice new box of Next Destinies. So a lot is on the line in this game. Second place does not get nearly as much. So this one game will decide it all. Both these players have gone through an extremely difficult tournament, over 200 players. What a long day of playing. This is now 1 a.m. They're finishing this tournament. Both these guys have to be exhausted. And they're going to try to focus for one more game because it's all on the line here. Now, we have a little bit of a contrast in starts between these two guys. Joey started with Tornadus, which is fine. Not as great as starting with Celebi, but it's still good. But Dustin has started with Mewtwo. Now, this is not the ideal start. It's tough when you start with Mewtwo because he's an EX. He gives up 2 prizes and he's weak to other Mewtwo's, and it's just gonna be difficult if Dustin decides to attack with this thing early on. It's just gonna be difficult for Dustin to win, seeing that Joey can just put down his own Mewtwo EX. We know he plays 3 of them. And just respond, and when we get into a Mewtwo war, the person who puts down Mewtwo first is probably going to lose. So Dustin, pretty unfortunate to start with a Mewtwo EX here, but sometimes you just start with it. That's the risk you take when you play Mewtwo. It's kind of a forced risk, but hey, that's just kind of what happens, and we'll see how it goes. Now Dustin does have a double Colossus in his hand. He's going to decide to X-Ball. So he is taking a very large risk here. If this Mewtwo does not take at least 1 prize, it's going to be a disaster for Dustin. If Joey can manage to get that Mewtwo EX of his own into play and X-Ball, Dustin's for a knockout. He is going to have a nice 2 prize advantage, and they'll probably end up taking this game, barring any sort of bad draws or anything like that. So really, the story of this game is going to be who is the bigger baller once again. Who will get off the most X-Balls and win this game. So Joey switches to his Celebi right off the bat. He puts down a Grass and a double Colossus, and then goes ahead with the Oak's New Theory, so he will be able to Hurricane on this first turn. The problem for Dustin is that there is almost no way that Mewtwo is getting 2 prizes. There's no way it's being efficient. What I mean by that is this Mewtwo will take 1 prize, maybe. Well, probably going to take a prize. But will it take a second prize? There's just no way unless Joey doesn't draw his own Mewtwo. And I mean, Mewtwo's giving up 2 prizes, and he is only going to take 1, so that's going to be an inefficient trade. Dustin's going to end up losing a prize in the process, and that's no good. So, looks like Joey whiffed a Switch or a Sky Arrow Bridge or a Junk Arm, and he will not be able to use Hurricane this turn. So all 3 of those energy are going to be wasted. And he goes 0 for 2 on that dual ball. So Joey's luck taking a turn for the worst here in this third game. He's probably just going to end up passing, and that's what he does. And this is a big opening for Dustin if he can manage to pull all this stuff out. Now, maybe Joey can get away with, or maybe Dustin can get away with this Mewtwo, because if he knocks out this active Tornadus, then we do see Dustin being very liberal with his Junipers. He's just playing them whenever he has them. He's discarding a lot of supporters and resources every time. He's favoring just drawing more cards from his deck. Very risky. We'll see if that comes back to bite him. But we're seeing this Mewtwo now have an opportunity to be worth its weight. Pull its weight around these parts, because if Joey cannot respond with a Mewtwo this turn and get a knockout on Dustin's, then Dustin for sure will get a second prize with his Mewtwo, and then it's absolutely worth it to start with this Mewtwo. He'll be ahead by 2 prizes. He will force Joey to play his own Mewtwo, and then we just get into a simple math battle where Dustin will be at 4 prizes, and then if Joey gets a knockout, then Joey will be at 2 prizes or 4 prizes, and then really it just goes 2, 2, 2, 2 because of how EXs work, and Dustin will be on the winning end of that. So I gotta think Joey needs that Mewtwo out this turn, or else Dustin will win. It's as simple as that. When you get into Mewtwo Wars, things kind of start to simplify and break down to just, alright, I'm taking 2 prizes every turn, and if you miss a turn of anything, I'm going to win. So this is huge right now. Can Joey draw everything he needs? He does have a Juniper. Opted not to play the grass just in case he got a double colorless, so he needs a double colorless energy and a Sky Arrow Bridge or a switch, and there it is, the Sky Arrow Bridge, the double colorless energy, and here we go. Mewtwo War is in the making. He has the second Mewtwo in his hand. He might want to put that down right now just to accept the fact that this is where the game is headed, but he decides not to, and here we go. X-Ball. There is a knockout. Now, how will Dustin respond? There's actually 2 ways he can respond to this. The first one is the most obvious, which is get his own Mewtwo and X-Ball for response. And here's a Dual Ball. Looks like 2 tails for Dustin. So both of these players were doing very well with Dual Ball the first couple games, and now the risk factor of Dual Ball coming back to bite them both. Dustin gets 2 tails on his, and I'm sure he would have grabbed a Mewtwo with that, but now he gets no basics, and he wasted a Junk Arm and 2 cards for nothing. So the other route Dustin could take is to catch her out Celebi, and then Hurricane for a knockout, and then he'll get down to 4 prizes, and Joey will only be able to get to 3 prizes, and he'll probably end up winning. Excuse me. Let's rewind. If Joey can only get down to 3 prizes, that turns the math back into Dustin's favor in terms of EX trading. Dustin will be at 4 prizes, Joey will be at 3, and then Dustin can drop his Mewtwo, X-Ball, go down to 2. Joey will then drop his Mewtwo, X-Ball, go down to 1, and then Dustin can drop another Mewtwo and X-Ball and take his last 2 prizes, and he'll be in the lead and win the game. So there's a lot of stuff that has to happen, but this is what can happen if everything goes according to plan for Dustin. Now, of course, if Joey can manage to take a prize without Mewtwo at some point, he will still have the advantage. So really this is going to get confusing, and just depends on what each player has. And right now it looks like Dustin just has this Tornadus ready to use Hurricane. And there's a Hurricane for the knockout. This game is all tied up. And now Joey will send out his Mewtwo. Puts down a Tornadus. I agree with this. Could put down a Mewtwo as well. He has that in his hand. Now, this turn he could just play a plus power and knock out Tornadus. And he'll get the knockout. That'll be just fine. And then He's actually going to play the grass on a Mewtwo. I don't know if I like that or not, though. He's pretty much putting all of his eggs into one big Mewtwo basket. And I think maybe a better route would have been put an energy on Tornadus so that he could catch her out of Celebi and get a prize that way. And get down to 2 prizes and then X-Ball for the win when Dustin's Mewtwo inevitably comes out. And here is another dual ball, 1 Tails, 2 Tails. Things not going so well for Dustin. And he actually plays a Juniper and discards his entire hand, which has a Juniper and Oak's New Theory, some other cards in there. That is a lot of stuff to discard, but he realizes what's on the line here. He knows he needs to get a Mewtwo this turn and X-Ball for a knockout here, otherwise he will lose this game. Still a costly Juniper. We've seen this in every single game where he just decides to Juniper and discard everything just to draw 7 cards. So here's a dual ball. Alright, we finally got a heads and a tails. So he gets a heads. I'm sure he'll grab Mewtwo here. If there's one in his deck. Otherwise, he's going to be in some trouble. So we'll see what he does grab. We'll find out very shortly. Come on, Dustin. So trying to decide what he wants to take. I guess he could take Regigigas if it's in there. Could be a bit of a risk though. What is he going to take? Pressure's high in this 3rd game where the winner will take home all the glory and the prizes and the loser will go home and wonder what could have been. So now Dustin is just going to take his sweet time and try to figure out what is my best option here. I actually don't see a Mewtwo as an option for him. Are they prized? There's not one in his hand. And he's taking Tornadus. Huh. This is getting weird. I don't know what's going on here. I didn't see any Mewtwo's in Dustin's hand. I didn't see him get any in his deck either. So really, if you don't have Mewtwo here, what is your hope? What can you possibly hope to accomplish? This is what I'm trying to figure out here. So there is a Junk Arm. Gets rid of an N, and looks like he goes for another Dual Ball. This is weird, and gets 2 Tails again. So I don't know what Dustin's plan is here. Honestly, what is he trying to go for here? Is there a Mewtwo in his discard pile? I don't really know. Looks like he was trying to get Shaman so he could Celebration Wind and move the energy off his Celebi onto Tornadus. And now he's just going to send up that Tornadus and pass, it looks like. So, really an uneventful turn for Dustin there. So there are 4 energy on Joey's Mewtwo. He could attach another one and then plus power and X-Ball. But maybe the only energy in his hand is a double colorless, and if that's the case, that's a lot to commit to one Mewtwo. But it looks like he's just going to go for it. If he had a catcher, that would have been a much better option, but he does not. And he's going to go ahead and play Oak's New Theory. And really, things are looking good for Joey. I mean, when you think about it, he's got all this energy on a Mewtwo. Dustin appears to have no Mewtwo's left. There's one in his prizes. Of course, he started with the first one, so it's in his discard pile. Maybe he was looking for Revive. He couldn't find it. But here we are now. If Joey can manage to just power up another Mewtwo, he'll end up winning this game, I think. Really, once Mewtwo gets this many energy on it, there's nothing that does pretty well to trade with it besides another Mewtwo, and especially nothing in Dustin's deck. There's just way too much energy on this Mewtwo. It's doing 120 damage by itself, And that's even before there's any energy on Dustin's Pokemon. So, here we go. Dustin needs to get Mewtwo this turn to have a shot. There's no double colorless energy in Joey's hand, so he's still fine. Now what is Dustin going to do? He has Juniper in his hand and a double colorless and a second double colorless that he drew, so he had to put it down. He has to get Revive and Shaman this turn so he can move that double colorless off onto the Mewtwo that he gets back. So does he have the Revive first of all? That is question number one. If he does, will he be able to get the Shaman? And we'll find that out here. He's got a Junk Arm. What is he going to do with it? So here's number one. Alright, he gets one heads. And he'll go for flip number two. That one is off camera. And he grabs Shaman. So he must have the Revive in his hand or a way to get Mewtwo. I don't know what else he would be doing this turn. Besides putting down a Tornadus and going ahead and catching out Selby, which, alright, that's exactly what he's doing. So he's going to retreat and Hurricane that Selby for knockout. I guess this is just desperation. He needs to get the Mewtwo out of his prizes. Ugly spot for Dustin. He's got to be pretty frustrated at this point. But really, what can you do? He's done everything he can. That Mewtwo is just in his prizes. He started with the first one. So now, Joey in firm control here. I'm not sure what he's going to decide to do. He should start powering up that bench Mewtwo. Putting energy on that guy. And it looks like he has an N in his hand as well. So we'll probably play that this turn before he takes his prize. Should play down any cards he can. Actually, he has an N, but he has an Oak's New Theory as well. I maybe would not even bother playing a supporter this turn. I definitely wouldn't play the N because you know, okay, as long as I just power up my next Mewtwo, I'm going to win this game. So there's no reason to play that N. That is the last thing Joey wants to do here. You might want to just put down Tornadus and... Oh no, he actually is playing the N. This could give Dustin a little hope here. If Joey draws poorly off of this N, and Dustin somehow manages to get his Mewtwo and respond with an X-Ball, then I think Dustin will have a shot at winning. This is really the only shot Dustin had at winning outside of playing his own N. I don't know what Joey was thinking here. He's just trying to disrupt Dustin and not allow him to get a Mewtwo into play. But he really disrupted himself more than anything. And now this is the big turn. Will Dustin be able to pull this off? There's not much stuff left in his deck. There's probably one double colorless left in his deck. There's one Revive for his Mewtwo. Really, what can he do? So he's going to play down as many cards as he can. Plays down the plus power, plays 2 switches and an Oak's New Theory. He's going to draw 6 cards here. He is furiously shuffling his deck. And this is getting right down to the wire. He's got single copies of cards that he needs to draw. He needs to draw a Revive and a double colorless energy to have a shot at this game. Joey is in firm command of this game. I do not see Dustin pulling this off. But he does have... Oh, he actually drew the Mewtwo from his prize, so there it is. 2 single copies right there. I'm sure he could have gotten a dual ball as well, but... Wow. And he's going to Junk Arm for Eviolite and put that onto his Mewtwo. And Dustin will tie this game up at 1 prize apiece. And if you're Joey, you got to be a little scared now that you end yourself into a horrible hand. And now he's got to be kicking himself. Why did I play that N? Why in the world didn't I just keep my hand or just use the Oak's New Theory? But Joey really does have a solid hand. He just needs an energy. He has a Pokemon catcher in his hand. All he needs to do is bring out that Celebi Prime. He needs 1 energy and X-Ball, and he will he will win this game. So it comes down to top decking and energy here for Joey now, after he had such complete control of this game. Really nothing could have gone wrong besides N, and he did it to himself. And now Dustin was very fortunate to draw what he did, draw off of his N, of course. No denying that, he got pretty lucky. But now it's all up to Joey. What is he going to do? I mean, really all he can do is pass and pray that his top card is something good. And it's going to be all on what Dustin gets here. Draws his revive. Another factor here is that there's 2 cards left in Dustin's deck. He probably doesn't have many resources left. So what's he going to do? He can attach an energy and put Joey on really a 1-turn clock, saying, okay, you either draw this energy or you don't. If you draw the energy, you win. If you don't, I win. And will Dustin put the game on that? The way he would do that is putting an energy on his active Mewtwo and using X-Ball for 60. Very risky, but it might be worth it at this point. His other way would just be X-Ball for 40, and then saying, okay, I just want to draw this game out. I don't want to take too many risks. If you draw just a grass energy, I would still be in this game. And then I can X-Ball, and in 2 turns I would end up winning just by doing 40. So which one is it going to be? Is he going to take the risk, attach the grass, and go for it all? Or will he play a little more conservatively? Dustin's motto throughout this entire series has been go big or go home with all of those giant junipers. And now we're going to see what he decides to do. It's still Dustin's turn. 1 prize each. Winner of this wins the whole tournament. The Ohio State champion will be decided in these next few turns here. Will Dustin be able to pull this miraculous comeback off? Will Joey make a miraculous top deck and win the game? Wow, everything is on the line here, and everything is really on Joey's top card. Will he be able to top deck an energy? And here we go. Dustin is just going for it. He's putting the 3rd energy on his Mewtwo and using X-Ball for 60, so it literally comes down to this top card. Does Joey draw an energy or a supporter to get one? And he does not. He does not draw an energy. He somehow does not draw an energy to X-Ball and beat Dustin. Now, this game is not completely over. If he retreats to his Mewtwo, Dustin will need to have 1 more energy to X-Ball for the win. But wow, I cannot believe that Joey, after being in such complete control of this 3rd game, has somehow managed to put himself in a position where he is probably going to lose. He sends up Mewtwo, he does not have the energy. All he's going to do is pass here, and Dustin, he has it. He has the energy. There's the X-Ball for 200 damage. Dustin Zimmerman somehow, someway, makes a comeback here in this 3rd game to win the Ohio State Championship. Wow, what a crazy way to end this tournament. Congratulations to Dustin. Congratulations to Joey as well for a very nice 2nd place finish. He just could not draw that last energy to win the game. A little bit of a questionable decision, playing the N on that at the end of the game to shuffle his own hand in. Probably didn't expect Dustin to have anything, but everything in those final 2 or 3 turns went Dustin's way. And he is crowned the Ohio State champion. Congratulations. That's 10 championship points, a travel award, 2 the national championships, and also a box of Next Destinies. So a lot of cool prizes there. Everything on the line in that last game there. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching that game. That was a very intense 3rd game for the finals. Definitely a worthy match of the finals of a state championship. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll have more state championship coverage coming up soon. So watch some more of our videos if you enjoyed that one. Leave some feedback. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. This has been Puka from the Top Cut.